My name is Debra Wynn. I'm currently a student at IUPUI. I majored in business management with a minor in marketing. I am striving to be an executive of a major company such as Mattel or Fisher-Price to work at the annual productivity of their yearly sales. I come from a family of 6. There are 3 girls and 3 boys. My parents still presently live together. My father's a Healy arc welder and my mother is a private duty nurse. One thing that I think that is very unique about my family is that we are interracial, and through it all we've stuck together and we're very closely knit and we're able to laugh and joke with each other, and that's really what I like because we are one big happy family. By me being interracial, my father is black and my mother is white. They met when my mother was 19 and my father was 21 at an Apostolic Church Convention, which is called the PAW, which is the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World. They had began dating when she was 19 and they were married at 21 and 24 and had 6 children. Well, being that it was 28 years ago when my parents were married, the society sort of shunned upon interracial marriages. But my parents loved each other very dearly, and they had decided that this was in their best interest for them to become married. I do know that my mother's relatives were not very pleased with her marrying a black man, but through it all, she had decided that she loved him and this was for the best. Well, my mother's father had died at an early age, so he really was not involved with the situation of my mother dating a black man. But as my mom was growing up and she had told her family that she was dating a black man, that she loved him and wanted to marry him, she was told that if she had decided to marry him, that she would be disinherited from the will. So that was a major problem for my mom. She was sort of tied in between her family, but also the man that she loved and wanted to spend the rest of her life with. So in the long run, she was disinherited. Well, my mom comes from a family of 6 children as well. 3 of the children, except my mom, fine, and that's no problem with her being married to a black man, but there are 2 brothers and sisters that we as children that my parents had, we have not met them, we know very little of them, so 3 of them were accepted and 2 of them did not accept it. Now on my father's side, that was no problem at all. It's normally the black family, they really don't have too much of a problem with the black dating or going to marry a white individual, but on my mother's side it was a problem.
Sure.
When my parents had decided to have children, a lot of their friends and their relatives would say, oh, it's going to be so difficult on the children growing up in a world where, or in a society where they're interracial or biracial. But growing up, we really didn't have very many problems. At school, we were called names, you know, by other students and other children in our peer group, but as we grew up and we were older, it's really not a problem now. But when we were younger, we were called names and teased. And it brought the family closer together. All the kids, we would come home and we would just talk and laugh, and it sort of made the family a lot closer than what it probably would have been if we didn't go through the name calling at school. My grandmother on my father's side really influenced the apostolic religion, and she influenced me as well. Just when she would come visiting from Detroit, Michigan, she would sit and talk with us about being in church and how the Lord has blessed her through the years and just how great God has been to her, and that has really influenced me to want to be able to participate in the activities that the church has to offer. Well, when we were growing up in school, we had both white friends and we had black friends as well. It really hasn't been too much of a big difference whom we date, just as long as we're happy. I can say from experience that I've dated both black and white, and in the white families, I'm accepted, but it's not the type of relationship where I can just go over to the house and just feel totally at ease. Whereas dating a black individual, I'm able to go to the house and I'm totally accepted and I can laugh and I can joke with them. Lots of times when I do go into a home, I feel as if I have to sort of change my whole attitude and go with the flow of their life and how they live. Well, as I'm looking through this photo album, I'm just sort of reminiscing the times when we were younger. All of my brothers and sisters now are older, and 2 of them have moved from the home. And one of the joyous and happiest times that we have are the holiday seasons when everyone comes home and it's just for one big happy family again, and we can reminisce about the times when we were younger, the ups and the downs. That's the part that I thoroughly enjoy, is the reuniting of the family again. I think by being interracial, it is a true advantage because I'm exposed to the black culture and I'm also exposed to the white culture as well. Being interracial, I'm able to communicate with both races, and we can both come to an equal understanding of my life, how I live, and how they live as well. By being interracial, we did not run into any disadvantages of being mixed. A lot of people believe that if you are interracial and you have children of the interracial race, that they're going to come up with mental problems. They're not going to be able to function well in the society, and that is something that we as people in the society look at the situation, but it's not in all actuality the case. But one thing that I can honestly say of being interracial is we have a very great advantage because we have been exposed to both cultures. I'm able to go and visit my relatives of the black race, and I see their culture, the way that they live. And then when I come back home, I'm able to look at my relatives on my mother's side and see how they live. So I've been exposed to both cultures, and I'm able to adapt and understand the way that each of them live. And I think that is great to be able to experience that.